contains a device known as the neural inhibitor, and another has plans that could be used to upgrade Ultron.
Just before that, by December 6th, okay, Marvel Rivals is 1 year old. And what did they get? Still holding strong. Let's refresh. Okay, it dropped a bit, which I'm 100% certain by this weekend, it will still go up. Look at the graph here. It's like a wave. This is how you know a video game is successful, okay? If you see this graph, like here, if it goes down, means people either working or they're getting ready for school or something, okay? If you say to me that I should touch grass or talk to a real woman, here, let me give you some reality check, okay? In case any of you want to make that argument. In 2018, I used to work at a printing shop, okay? In 6 years, okay? I've met virtually everybody. Yes, everyone, male and female, all genders, of every religion type. Malay, Indians, India, or Chinese. Hell, I even meet foreigners. I've met Portuguese. Before you ask, think twice before you tell me that I should touch grass or, even better yet, go talk to a real woman. 2 weeks ago, Marvel Rivals have launched its 5th season, including the fan favorite X-Men characters Gambit and Rogue. However, some fan and certain media outlets are noticing something else. No queer characters. That's good. And don't forget one thing, this is NetEase, okay? This is made from China. Does China has LGBTQ people in there? Now the problem such as it is stems from the fact that Season 5 of Marvel Rivals centers on romance with the season title Love is a Battlefield. It's based largely on the X-Men limited series comic called Mr. and Mrs. X, in which Gambit and Rogue get married. The trailer of the new season has Wolverine affixing Gambit's bow tie and saying, "You sure you're ready for this, bub?" Wow, bub. You know what? We're gonna check that trailer soon. Since that would be a boring game in itself, cosmic hijinks ensue. The couple heads off for an adventure. Okay.
You sure you're making the right choice, bub?
Not a doubt, mon ami. I'm free to be myself. But somehow, she manages to keep me grounded. She's my whole world.
You know how troubled his past is, yet you still chose him.
Of course I did. Rim has always been there for me, no matter what.
Let us hope that stays true. In the chaos to come.
Professor X. Wow. Scott. Wow. Again, folks, I think that was good. I don't see any queer. Ale! Boom. Again, let me tell you this, folks. Like I said before, rewind what I said earlier in the video, okay? I work at a printing shop, meaning I've met people. I interact with people, okay?
So, the reports were right. There is a team of superheroes on the Omega base. Well, let's see if this doesn't slow you down.
And also, I went to a computer repair shop, and guess what? One of those employees are female. Ow. Ouch. Ui, soldier. Ow. Boom. Get him. Boom. 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 Ah. Boom. Oh. Ooh, that's hit. Again. Tell me something. Also, if I were a grifter that most of these people claim, how come I didn't convince my audience that they should subscribe? Answer yourself that. How come?
Hey! Can anybody hear me? I'm stuck in this lab!
Now, in addition to the X-Men Southern Belle and her raging Cajun, the trailer showcased other Marvel couples such as Storm and Black Panther, which, yeah, of course it is, Cloak and Dagger, as well as two invented specifically for Marvel rivals, Venom and Scarlet Witch, Loki and Mantis, which I don't know about that one. Reports are that the season also features the emphasis on Reed and Sue Richards, along with others, but a sticking point for some people is there is no highlighted queer relationship. Well, that's good. Hello, don't forget, this game is made from China, okay? Regardless whether you say that NetEase has a Western studio or anything, the center of it is China, okay? This isn't to say that Marvel Rivals doesn't allude to queer romance, but they're not as obvious as the straight ones. According to The Gamer, yes, The Gamer, the outlet has been criticized Marvel Rivals since the game launches. Angela and Sarah are mildly referenced, with Angela mentioning Sarah, the extent of their representation as a queer couple. The lack of in-your-face alternative romance is causing some anger online, with certain people miffed at the perceived slight. The Gamer suggests two remedies for this affront. One is to include homosexual couple Marvel Comics, like Wiccan and Hulkling, or create a new queer relationship like they did with Loki and Mantis or Venom and Wanda. Were Marvel Rivals to do so, it would be following the traditional of the comics. Were Marvel Rivals to do so, it would be following the traditional of the comic books and the film and TV shows of the MCU, which have leaned heavily into representation in recent years.
Reed Richards, am I glad to see you. What the heck is going on around here? There was a huge explosion and then I couldn't open this door.
The Masters of Evil have attacked the Omega base. But first things first, Bruce. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Reed. I just hope they didn't damage any of my work. Wait a minute. Did you say the Omega is under attack?
Doom used a knockout gas on the Omega. That explosion must have sealed your room off from it.
This is terrible. If Doom can lay his hands on the experiments here, there's no telling what he'd be able to do.
I know. There's several experiments of mine here that I hope are secure. What do you know about the giants that are running around here?
Those are the results of the Super Soldier program. Scientists are attempting to recreate the experiment that gave Captain America his super strength. So far, they haven't had much success.
Team, you must be making the Masters of Evil nervous. My security panel shows a gamma bomb has just been activated. You gotta shut it down or all life in a 2-mile radius will be destroyed.
Bruce, you're something of an expert on gamma bombs, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Follow me to the primary lab and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so here's the thing, folks. I would say this. Hang on, let me check something out. Nothing? Okay. Now here's the thing, folks. Look. Remember one thing. NetEase, even though you want to say it has American or something, because some people say NetEase has a branch in America somewhere, but the center of it for NetEase is China, okay? And China doesn't have LGBTQ, okay? So the unlikeliness for you to request that is, yeah, it's not happening. Ow, ow. Get him. Boom.
It figures. They damaged the shutoff. We have to find the secondary lab and re-establish the safety interlock.
Okay, so here's the thing. Look, remember one thing. Unlike in the West, where most of them are ideologically captured by the LGBT wokies, China they don't like the LGBTQ. I mean, how many... Oh, boom.
Stay down.
Boom. Ale. I mean, there is no... Okay. Excuse me. I mean, in China, I don't think there is any community of LGBTQ. There isn't. Even if there is, it's a small percentage. Okay? Small percentage. Oh. Ow. Oh. Ade, bing. So, it wouldn't make sense though. Even if you did request it, I don't think they won't do it, okay? Remember, this is NetEase we're talking about. This is from China. They won't do it. Ale! Boom! Bang! Boom! Bang! So, don't expect it.
That's right. I want it. Hear me.
Unlike in the West, they can do it, but don't forget, this is the East. Yes, this is the East we're talking about. When it comes to video game crossovers, that kind of relationship, they won't do it, okay? Same goes for the Saudi. I don't think... Look, if the Saudi wants to make, say, Dragon Age or even Mass Effect or anything, in order for them to at least keep the gay stuff, they will have to make it an option just like Baldur's Gate 3, okay?
Now, let me see if... Yes, I was able to shut down the gamma bomb. We're safe.
That was close. That sucker detonated everything within a 2-mile radius would have been destroyed.
Sounds good to me. I'm no superhero.
Now, suggesting these additions overlook one of the reasons Marvel Rivals has been so successful. Marvel fans have celebrated the game's focus on classic superhero stories such as Captain America, Spider-Man, and the rest represented their original character rather than latter-day replacement, as well as giving them classical masculine and feminine traits. This focus is part of the attempt to give fans who don't like the infusion of identity politics in comics, movies, and TV show something they can enjoy. So these are the comments. Yeah. Lack of queer couples. How they keep telling us, don't like it, don't play it. By the way, Overwatch is there, go play it. Which reminds me, let's see. Overwatch 2. See this player count? Not even close. Part of that focusing on romantic pairings like Rogue and Gambit or Reed and Sue, not recent ones that, whether this is true or fair, feels like shoehorned by many to make political statement. Complaining that Marvel Rivals has no queer couple suggests this would be the reason to add them to the game, particularly as there's no mention how this would there is no mention on how this would positively impact the story, the character, or gameplay, other than adding representation. The Loki and Mantis pairing invented for the game was a response to fan interest, including creating fanfic. While it doesn't reach the number it did at the height of its popularity, Marvel Rivals still doing well on Steam, typically having between 150k and 125k players, okay? On the weekends, which so far it goes down, well above all-time peak of Overwatch, which is one game the gamer says outdoes Marvel Rivals in terms of queer representation. It is understandable that NetEase doesn't want to jeopardize the success, which that's warranted. And look at this. See this player count? You see the difference? Overwatch 2 is trying to catch up, but why are they doing? How come they can't even do it? This is have 90,000, this one 20,000. It is an uphill battle, okay? Look. Let me tell you something about this game. Many people say that Overwatch, or in this case Marvel Rivals, is an Overwatch clone. Only the thing is, they didn't know how it worked. Look, yes, you may say that Marvel Rivals is an Overwatch clone, but understand one thing. You want to know what NetEase does as a difference? Because remember, NetEase, they know that you can't convince people to switch between Overwatch 2 or Marvel NetEase learned that You can't convince people to transfer from Overwatch 2 to Marvel Rivals, okay? You can't. It is impossible. So what they do?
Sorry about that.
So what they do? It's simple. And that is comic book, okay? NetEase must have known that many Overwatch 2 players are comic book fans, okay? Remember, comic book fans. Or better yet, MCU fans. Yeah, that's the question. That's the theory.
Mysterio. Jeez, it's good to see you. Still got a fishbowl for a head, I see.
Spider-Man, do you always have to be a half-wit?
Ooh, now that hurt. And speaking of getting hurt, step away from those plans before I have to get medieval on you.
You idiot! Why do you think S.H.I.E.L.D. has plans for Ultron?
I thought everyone had them. I got some this morning in a box of cereal.
These plans are upgrades. The good guys want to capture Ultron so they can rewrite his programming and turn him into a S.H.I.E.L.D. weapon.
That's impossible. Ultron is sentient. Reprogramming him is illegal.
Yes, it is. But all I care about are these plans. Ultron wants them for the weapon upgrades.
If your Ultron gets weapon upgrades, then my Ultron will want weapon upgrades,
you never
and that
changed,
just won't
Spider-Man.
do.
Huh? I've heard enough of your babbling.
Again, like I said, when it comes to this,
Let's get
remember,
this started.
the developers of NetEase, they've learned one thing. They know that you can't convince people to go from Overwatch 2 to Marvel Rivals, okay? They knew it is impossible. So what they do? Fans, okay? Comic book fans. Because the developers of NetEase, before they made Marvel Rivals, okay, I have to assume, in my opinion, I have to assume that they knew that... Sorry, making sure... Yeah. So again, like I said, in my opinion, I think many developers in NetEase, they've seen... Okay, first, they know they cannot convince people to transfer from Overwatch 2 to Marvel Rivals, okay? They knew it. But most importantly, they know about comic book fans, okay? They can guess. They theorize that most Overwatch players is a comic book fans, or in this case, Marvel fans, or maybe even better, who watches the MCU, who loves it. How much you want to bet that most Overwatch 2 players are comic book fans, or better yet... Wait a minute. Or better yet, who loves the MCU? Think about that, folks. So again, remember, one thing, fans, okay? Many Overwatch 2 players, NetEase theorized that most Overwatch players has to be comic book fans or the fans of the MCU, the Marvel Comics, all of that. So, they give it. And guess what? It was successful. Hope you enjoy this.
Did you stop him? No, I don't imagine he did. Nice job.
Okay.
This is insane. How can S.H.I.E.L.D. possibly generate an army using the new super soldier serum?